We're sewing another unfettered pattern today, this lovely lined short jacket with front buttons and functional welt pockets. If you enjoyed my free pattern sew-alongs and there's others you have your eye on, let me know in the comments. I've sewn my first jacket here in a cotton twill material with a silk taffeta lining. And for today's version, I've used a thicker wool and dorme lining, both luxurious materials from Rex Fabrics. I finished the bottom lining in today's video using a slightly different method than I've used for previous line jackets. I'm really happy with the results, so let me know what you think. Let's sew this jacket from start to finish. Here we go. Here is the wrong side of one of my front bodice pieces, and I've marked the welt pocket opening. I've cut a strip of interfacing measuring 1.5 inches by 5 inches, and I'm going to place this over the welt opening and fuse in place. On the front bodice pattern piece, you have a line surrounded by 4 dots which indicate the markings of our rectangle for the welt opening. Transfer this rectangle onto the interfacing on the wrong side of your fabric. And I've also transferred the center line. Now I'm going to stitch right on top of the outer lines of the rectangle, stay stitching in place. And that stay stitching also transfers our rectangle to the right side of the fabric, so we have a visible marking here as well. Apply interfacing to the wrong side of your pocket flat piece, then fold it in half along the notches, folding it right sides together and pinning the edges. Sew both short edges with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Trim the top corners, turn this piece right side out, and give it a good press. Align the raw edges with the center line of your welt opening so that the raw edges are facing the bottom of the bodice. Pin in place. We're going to baste the flap in place from dot to dot as transferred from your pattern piece, which should align with the long top edge of the stay stitching we did previously. If you're working with a thicker fabric like I am, it may be helpful to start from the center to the edge, then sew again from the center to the opposite edge. This will help maintain the alignment. Place your top pocket lining piece right sides together with the flap. Aligning the dots once again, placing it in the exact same way as we placed the flap. Aligning those raw edges and pin in place. Sew from dot marking to dot marking, once again sewing right on top of those flat basting stitches. And back stitching at both sides to secure. Place the lower pocket lining right sides together with the bodice so that the straight raw edge butts up right against the straight raw edge of the top pocket lining. And pin in place. We're going to sew in place from dot to dot, which should align with the lower part of the rectangle of our previous stay stitching. We're going to slash through the center of this opening through the center of that stay stitched rectangle. I'm going to stop my slash about 1/2 inch away from both short edges of the rectangle. Then I'll use sharp scissors to snip to all 4 corners of the rectangle, careful not to snip through the stitching line. This snipping will create tiny triangles on both short ends of the rectangle. Turn your lower pocket lining material to the inside through the slit. Give that bottom opening edge a good press. Now I'm going to flip this piece to the wrong side. I'm going to top stitch my lining to its seam allowance, sewing about 1/8 inch away from the original seam line. Note that we're only sewing the lining to the seam allowance. Now I'll turn my top pocket lining piece to the inside through the slit as well. Turning my pocket flap downward. Pin the outer edges of the pocket linings together. We're going to sew these pocket lining pieces together along the outer edges of the 3/8 inch seam allowance. As we start and stop our stitching at the top edges, we're going to be sewing those linings to those tiny triangles we looked at earlier. Stitching right along the edges of the triangle, which should align with the original stay stitching along those short edges. So here's what my pocket looks like from the outside. When we open it up, we can see the lining on the inside, and the edges of the pocket are now fully sewn on the inside. I'm going to mark the button placement onto my flap, and then sew the buttonhole in place in the center of the flap. And I'll sew my button in place through the bodice material only right underneath my buttonhole. Repeat to create your front welt pockets for both front bodice pieces. Place your back bodice pieces right sides together along the center back seam and pin in place. Sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance and press the seam open. Place each of your front pieces right sides together with the back piece, aligning the shoulders and the side seams, and pin in place. Sew each shoulder seam and each side seam at 3/8 of an inch and press the seams open. Fold your main sleeve in half right sides together, aligning the underarm seam. Pin in place and sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Press that seam allowance open, also pressing up the bottom hem allowance by 1.5 inches just to form a memory crease. Turn your sleeve right side out and place it inside its corresponding armhole, right sides together. Align your notches and the underarm seam and pin in place. Continue pinning the sleeve in place all the way around, sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. And repeat to attach both sleeves. Apply interfacing to the wrong sides of each of your facing pieces, then place them right sides together at the shoulders and pin in place. Sew each shoulder seam at 3/8 of an inch and press the seams open. Place the facing right sides together with the center front and the neckline and pin in place. Sew the facing from the bottom of the center front all the way to the top around the neckline and then down to the bottom of the center front on the opposite side with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I'm going to trim both of my center front corners. And we're going to understitch both of our center fronts as well as the neckline, turning our facing over its seam allowance and sewing the facing to its seam allowance underneath with about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way around. As you approach both of the top corners, your presser foot won't allow you to understitch all the way to the corner, so go as far as you can, backstitch to secure, then start a fresh set of stitches to understitch around the neckline, repeating for the opposite corner. Then turn your facing fully to the inside, poking out those top corners. And give all of your facing edges a good press. And if you'd like to add a garment label to your back facing, you can do that at this point as well. Place the back lining pieces right sides together along the center back and pin in place. Sew this seam at 3/8 of an inch and press the seam open. Now that I have my back seam pressed open, I'll place my two back pieces right sides together once again, aligning the notches at the top of the neckline. And I'll pin the material together at the notches. We're going to sew vertically from the notches down about a 1-inch distance. Then we'll press that seam flat. Now that we've pressed that material flat at the top of the neckline, you'll see that we have a slight ease gap in the center of our back bodice, creating a nice amount of ease in the back bodice, which makes the jacket more comfortable. Place the front and back lining pieces right sides together and pin the shoulder and side seams. Sew both shoulders and both side seams with a 3/8 inch seam allowance in the same way as we did for the main garment, then press the seams open. I've gone ahead and sewn one of my sleeves at the underarm with a 3/8 inch seam allowance from top to bottom. For the second sleeve, we're going to sew it in the same way, but we're going to leave about a 3-inch gap in the center of the seam. Backstitching at both ends of the gap to secure. Place your sleeves into their corresponding armholes in the same way as we did for the main bodice pieces, pin in place, and then sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Place the outer edges of the lining right sides together with the edges of the facing and pin in place all the way around. Right sides together. Make sure to align your shoulder seams and the center backs. Now I'm going to sew the lining to the facing all the way around from the bottom of the center front, around the neckline, to the bottom of the opposite center front with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Then I'll press my seams toward the lining. Here is the bottom open edge of my facing and my lining. With my facing right sides together with the bottom of the bodice, I'm going to pin that in place along the bottom raw edge, folding that facing back right along its main seam line. I'm going to pin the facing in place from the outer edge to the seam line that we just sewed. Repeating on both sides. Then on both sides, we're going to sew as pinned from the outer edge of the 3/8 inch seam allowance to the seam line that we sewed previously, backstitching at the seam line. And I'll trim those bottommost corners. Now with everything tucked inside between the lining and the main jacket, I'll bring down the lining to meet the bottom raw edge of the jacket, starting at the center back and pinning in place. And I'll pin also at the side seams. On one side of the center back, I'm going to pin this section in place, and on the opposite side, I'm going to leave an opening of about 4 inches for turning. Now for the open section of the bottom of the lining from where we ended our facing stitches to the side seam, we're going to leave it angled in this way, just laying that lining fabric flat on top of the bodice to form a natural angle here and pin in place. Repeat on the opposite side. Now we're going to sew from that facing seam line where our stitches ended previously with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, stitching that 3/8 of an inch along the edge of the lining. As we approach the side seam, continue that 3/8 inch seam allowance. remembering to leave the gap in the bottom of the lining and backstitch on both ends of the gap. Continue the 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, once again maintaining that 3/8 of an inch along the edge of the lining, and end your stitches at the seam line as we did on the other side. Turn the jacket right side out through the opening we left in the bottom of the lining, and then poke out those center front corners. Press the bottom hem of the main jacket so that it forms a straight line from facing to facing. This will allow the lining to bag nicely on the inside. Place the sleeve lining inside the main sleeve, and make sure that the underarm seams are aligned. With the seams at the bottom of the sleeve aligned, turn them so that they face right sides together, just folding those fabrics to the inside. Now that I've folded those fabrics and they're right sides together, I'll pinch that and hold it in place. Place your hand inside the opening at the bottom of your lining. Then take your hand through the sleeve between the lining and the main fabric. Find the ends of the sleeves that you have pinched together and pinch that in your opposite hand. Then pull the sleeve out through the bottom of the jacket. With the material in your hand still right sides together, pin that in place. So the material here should be right sides together, raw edges even. Pin all the way around the bottom of the sleeve. Sew all the way around the bottom of the sleeve with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. From the outside, turn your sleeve right side out once again, allowing the bottom hem of the sleeve to be pressed to the inside along the pre-pressed crease that we created earlier. Now that the bottom of the sleeve is fully lined with a clean finish, repeat the same steps to finish the lining of the sleeve on the opposite side. To close the gap on the bottom of the lining, we're going to access this bottom edge through the opening that we left in our sleeve lining earlier. Placing our hand through that opening in the sleeve lining, and grabbing the bottom opening of the jacket, and pulling the bottom edge through the opening in the sleeve. Pin that opening in place, and sew closed with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. For this gap in the sleeve lining, we're just going to edge stitch closed from the top to the bottom of the gap, straightening out that seam so that both sides align from top to bottom, and edge stitch in place. Then pull the sleeve back through the outside of the garment, and we're ready to sew our buttonholes along the center front, marking those buttonholes according to the lines transferred from the pattern piece. Then sew each buttonhole in place. Then sew each of your buttons in place opposite each buttonholes according to the markings on the pattern piece. And now your jacket is complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming sewing tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.